All right, welcome. My name is Mary Rose Somariba. I'm a writer and editor from Cleveland. You can find me at maryrosesamariba.com. Today, I'm interviewing Shawn Ridenour, owner of Fog Vapery in Fairview Park, Ohio. Hi, Shawn.
How's it going?
It's good. I'm so glad you could chat with me today. There's a lot of questions people have about vaping and about just local places. And so I thought it'd be a good time to chat about that. So just to jump right in, Shawn, tell us a little bit how you first were introduced to vaping.
I was first introduced to vaping probably by a coworker. A couple people I saw were trying to quit smoking, and I had seen some different vape devices around or whatever, but a shop just recently opened by our work where I met the coworkers. So I stopped in one day and I got my first device from a place called Puff and Stuff or something like that, I think it was called. Uh, it's changed names. It was S&S Vapor or something at one point, but it was actually quite pricey. It was $120 I spent for my first device and my first 10 ml bottle of juice.
And since you mentioned you were previously a smoker, tell us a little bit about how vaping changed your health, how it affected you in stopping smoking.
100%. It definitely helped. I actually have tried to quit smoking previously multiple times. Using the patch, I've used the pill, the gums. I've tried multiple things and it just didn't work. The pill did work the best, but then I had weird side effects from it. So I just stopped taking the pill and, of course, went back to smoking. Uh, the kids were getting on me. I just wanting to feel better for myself and my family so I could be around there longer. And I bought that first device and I just told myself that I wasn't going to smoke anymore and that I had spent all this money and that I needed to honestly give it a chance. And it worked for me. I definitely had to change my lifestyle a little bit. Like most people that, drink alcohol or whatever and smoke, uh, or just drink, a lot of people smoke when they're drinking even, that are not normal smokers. But I was a normal smoker, and when I drank, I wanted to smoke a lot more. So that was really hard in the beginning. I actually stopped drinking for a couple months because I just knew it was my trigger, and I was really trying to give the vaping 100% effort. And it's been 7 years now that I've been without a cigarette. I could not feel better. I feel better daily. I breathe better. I don't smell like a cigarette. Food tastes better now. It's just, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Wow, that's fascinating. Now, I know that some people are concerned or want confused about vaping and its health, effects. So for you, given your story there, it sounds like it really improved your health. And can you comment on some people's concerns about vaping and health?
Oh, sure. I will never tell anyone that vaping is safe. Uh, I do personally believe that it is a safer alternative to smoking. Um, I mean, with vaping, you have four chemicals in your run of the mill vape juice: vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, natural and uh, food flavorings that are in cakes and foods that we eat every day, uh, and for me, nicotine. So four chemicals. Cigarettes, I think it's over 1,800 different chemicals in a cigarette. There's also many things that cause from new chemicals that are formed from combustion, which I don't combust anything. So that's another advantage to the vaping over the smoking. Uh, Also, it's still too young. So I won't say that it's safe, but I personally feel better. And I know most people that start to vape do feel better than they did when they smoked cigarettes. So who knows long term? I mean, 20 years, I might have an arm growing out of my back or something, but nobody knows that yet. And I feel better now. And just, I mean, common sense to me would mean that it is safer if it has 4 chemicals versus 1,800 and some. And some of those chemicals we know are bad: rat poison, formaldehyde, all those things. None of
Mhm.
that's in vaping.
Mhm. And yeah, I recall hearing also some people are concerned about the flavors. You mentioned the flavors in there that we also eat in other foods. Some outlets or people have been concerned that those are targeting kids because they're sweet flavors like candy. But I remember you telling me once that the flavors actually helped get you out of smoking and into vaping. So tell a little bit about how flavors made a difference for you.
Flavors are definitely important. Um, Again, my opinion is when, the media and the government want to say, the flavorings are enticing the kids. I'm not going to say that they're not enticing the kids, but as an adult, I'm sure you like flavored things. I like eating flavored things. I mean, we have how many kinds of ice cream, how many kinds of bread, how many kinds of everything that we consume on a daily basis. If it wasn't for flavors, why would we have all these things? My biggest argument about the whole thing is when it comes to vaping and they want to say, ban flavors because it's targeting children. Well, we have many different kinds of alcohol that are flavored like cotton candy and bubble gum. And when you go to a bar, everybody wants those fruity, fun looking drinks. Why is that? Or because it looks good and it tastes good. It doesn't matter if you're an adult or a kid, you want to do something that tastes good. Uh, Labels, yes, labeling a product could entice children, which the vaping industry has cracked down on and changed to, just standardized labels. Um, no more kid friendly labels, no more child friendly um, bottles. Like we've actually installed a lot of different regulations ourselves because the industry's not really regulated right now by the government. It's in the process, but we do these things on our own. So I think it's really disheartening actually when you see people coming down on the vaping industry when there are a few bad apples, but that's in any industry. Um, I think we're doing a great job at self monitoring the industry when the government's not there. You know, there's definitely plenty of statistics out there that for sales of underage vaping products to minors and things like that, hardly any of it is at an actual vape store, which is what I own, versus convenience stores, gas stations. That's where these kids are getting the vape products, not at a mom and pop vape shop. We
Got it.
card people. I have a scanner. It's not us.
So in the US, is it correct that vaping products shouldn't be purchased or legally by someone under 18? Is that right?
That is correct.
So
It
if they're
falls
being
in
purchased,
with tobacco laws, actually, which the US just raised the smoking and vaping age to 21 last year. So,
oh my goodness, I forgot that.
smokers or vapers, you have to be 21 in the United States now to purchase those
Okay.
products.
So if kids are getting it at the gas stations, it's because they're just also the same gas stations that's probably letting kids buy alcohol.
Correct. They're
And
just
at
not
your
carding, doing their due diligence as much as the vape stores are doing.
and at your vape store, you have scanners. You said you don't let under 21 in there.
Yeah, we check IDs. We actually have a little scanner app on a phone that can scan the ID, tell us if it's fake, give us all the details. We keep records of that.
That's great. So tell a little bit about Fog and at Fairview Park and on Lorraine Road. Tell us a little bit about your location.
So Fog started myself and my business partner Greg. We wanted to do something together, and took the chance and opened a vape shop. We were both really into vaping. We love the industry. We love to help people not smoke cigarettes and feel better. So we started our own 3 years ago. It's in Fairview on Lorraine Road, 21446 Lorraine Road. We found a little spot that we both really liked. It has front street parking and a parking lot out back. When we opened the shop, we wanted to do things different than some of the shops that local and just I've been in my experience as a vapor in 7 years. Well, back then it was 4 years that I'd been vaping. And we wanted it to look a certain way and have a certain feel. So we've always been customer service oriented as our top priority. We had a lounge. We carry a lot of products that other stores wouldn't carry because the demand was out there, but it's a low demand. But we wanted to be the specialty boutique style vape shop versus selling every smock product, which smock is just a big brand in the vaping industry out of China, which most products are out of China, but they are, I don't know who to compare them to, but they just release devices, so fast and a billion colors and talking things. And we didn't want to carry those products. We wanted to carry the higher end things, the niche market, the rebuildables, because that's what we were into. And it definitely helped our shop a lot in the beginning. And we've had to adapt due to COVID, due to the vape industry always being scrutinized and laws changing, the 21 age, that took about 15% probably of our business was 18 to 21-year-olds. So we're just constantly changing. A lot of shops have gone. We're still here, still going strong and still trying to keep people off cigarettes, but we do carry a lot of other things now that people are interested in. The wellness products, we carry a lot of CBD, Delta 8 products. We have topicals and coffees and creams. We actually pride ourselves on not carrying a ton of CBD also, because not all CBD is created equal. There are everybody and their brother out there trying to make CBD and make a quick buck. We do a lot of research, make relationships with the companies. Everything that we carry, we have lab results for, and we want to give people the best product at the most reasonable price. So that's what we try and do in our shop versus some shops might carry 3,000 different things. We do not.
And that's a great summary. And just to also piggyback on that comment on CBD, I know some people have misunderstandings about it. It's a CBD stands for cannabidiol, is that right? And can you describe briefly what's in it and what its effects are so people are clear on it?
CBD's been around forever. We just started really cultivating it and trying to use it for medicinal uses more. There are a lot of properties, and CBD is just one compound in the plant. There are many compounds in there that have a lot of properties that work well with the CBD too. CBN, CBG, CBA, but it's all from the hemp plant. Everything that we sell is under the legal limit for 0.03 THC is the law, because there are trace amounts of THC because it comes from the hemp plant, but it's not THC. It's not going to have
not going to be mind altering.
Correct. It won't show up. CBD itself will not show up on a drug test because they're not testing for CBD, they're testing for THC. Now, you can actually get CBD that has over that legal limit. We do not sell that. We do not buy that. It's regulated, so the farmers can't really sell it either. So um, it is safe for people that do not want any mind altering effects and are trying to obey the law and don't want to consume THC, which is a Schedule 3 narcotic. But it has a lot of effects to help people as far as anxiety, uh, calming, muscle problems, arthritis, uh, appetite. Sometimes it can help you want to eat. And then there's different forms of CBD you can consume. Tinctures, you can smoke it, which is actually, we don't prefer to smoke it in our shop. We try and have people dry or vaporize it, but you can use the flower itself, or you can put it under your tongue as a tincture form. We have edible form. We have just about everything.
You know, the one person I heard talking about CBD vaping, and I told them about fog, was someone who had anxiety. They weren't a former smoker. They said they were introduced to vaping because of CBD and their anxiety. They'd wake up with panic attacks at night, but once someone recommended CBD in vaping form, they were able to calm themselves down without any other interventions. So that's interesting. Can you tell us? I know you said your first. Oh, were you? Is there any other comment on that you wanted to?
I was just going to say that we try to have people ingest it first, as far as a tincture or an edible, over vaping or smoking it. Period. Anyway, just I believe that even I am a vapor. When you're breathing in anything that's not oxygen, it's not healthy. So if you can get your CBD effects without vaping it or smoking it, I do think that's a better option.
That's interesting. I remember you said your first vaping tools cost you a little bit. Can you tell us how much someone going into fog, and if they're interested in getting off of smoking and starting vaping, how much could they look at likely spending it at a setting themselves up?
Oh, it's definitely night and day now, because the industry was in its infancy then. Everything was way more expensive. Now there's so many device choices, device companies, device styles. So you could come in and literally get started for $20, and that's the price of 2 to 2.5 packs of cigarettes. So it's definitely a worthwhile cause to try and be healthy. Uh, and you could probably save some money if you do it right. Uh, for me, I didn't save any money because I have the hobbyist aspect and I collect different vapes, and I spend a lot of money on vaping because it's a hobby to me. If you're trying to quit smoking and that's all you're doing is a smoking cessation, it's really not that expensive. It's definitely cheaper than smoking cigarettes. And in my opinion, there's no price you can put on your life or feeling better. So it doesn't matter to me if I save the money or not. I feel better and I think it's working for me. So, but yeah, we have starting range $20 up to you can spend $200, $300. Just depends on what you're looking for and your style.
That's great. Well, thanks for answering all of these questions. I guess the last one would be, how can folks who are interested in checking out Fog, how can they find you online?
Online, we are on Facebook at Fog Vapery. We are on Instagram at Fog Vapery, at symbol FOGVAPERY. Um, no TikToks yet. You could email us at fogvapery@gmail.com or stop in the store anytime. We are there to answer questions. So even if you're just curious, you want to stop in and check out what we have, CBD wise, vape wise, whatever, stop in 21446 Lorraine Road, Fairview Park, Ohio, 44126.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Shawn. It's great to chat with you. Again, this was Shawn Ridenour, one of the owners of Fog Vapery in Fairview Park. And again, I'm Mary Rose Samariba from Cleveland, Ohio. So thank you all for listening, and visit Fog on any of those handles, Fog Vapery that Shawn mentioned. And you could check out my work at maryrosesamariba.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.